Researchers suggest that 9% of Americans who set resolutions complete them. In fact, the research goes on to show that 23% quit by the first week, and an astonishing 43% quit by the end of January. I have to admit, I have been one of those. I set New Year's resolutions, and next thing I know, it's the end of the month, the end of the year, and I have gone to something else. But I've decided that this year it's going to be different. I want to share with you the mind shifts, transformations that I'm deciding to implement this year to make sure that I don't repeat what I've been doing for the couple of years, and that this year I elevate myself to a new version and a better me. I hope you find this video encouraging, and it inspires you to make some mindset shifts to make this a better year for you. As 2023 came to an end, I sat down and reflected on the year that I had had. And I decided that it was time to make some shifts and implement things that would elevate my year to something different than it has been in the past years. In ending 2023 and entering 2024, I asked myself three questions, and these are three questions that it's used in the business world and organizations as they reflect and make changes for the year. The first question that I ask myself is, what are the things that I'm going to stop doing in the coming year? And a couple of things came to mind. And one of those things is saying yes to everybody and saying yes to all things. At times we feel that we have to say yes to everything. Saying yes all the time when I want to say no. That is something that I've decided I'm going to stop this year. One more thing that I've decided I'm going to stop doing for this coming years is setting boundaries. And boundaries, again, with my time and with people. Sometimes we allow people in our life that take a lot of us, that drain our energy or time. I'll give you an example. Sometimes we have friends, and this can be family, that no matter what, they always come to you and they either dump or they take from you. And that is something that I've decided that this year I am setting boundaries, and that I will no longer allow people that drain my energy and that don't contribute in any way to my well-being and my life. And sometimes that is something necessary to do if you want to elevate yourself and your life to having a better year, better outcomes. So that is the question number one. What am I going to stop doing this coming year? So maybe that's something for you to think about too. What is something that you are going to stop doing? Question number two. What are the things that I am going to start doing? So one of those things is being more intentional. I feel that, especially for me, a lot of the times I'm not being intentional with my time. I'm not being intentional with my habits. I'm not being intentional with starting my business. And so one of the main things that I'm going to start doing is being intentional about committing to being consistent, especially in my channel. I'm also going to start implementing micro habits. Sometimes I am guilty of trying to start something and going all in. And I find that, just like the statistic, I have all the intentions of going all in, but by the end of the month, I have dropped whatever that was, or I'm not as consistent as I intended to be. So that's one of the things that I'm going to change and to start doing. So instead of trying to implement like this big habit, just doing the micro habits. So instead of committing to, I'm going to exercise a whole hour, I'm committing to, okay, 5 minutes every morning. Now, if those 5 minutes lead to more, that is a win. But just having that mindset, okay, this is a micro habit. I think the hardest thing sometimes is to start, and it's overwhelming when we are setting ourselves up to failure by just saying, oh, I'm going to do 10, 20 minutes. But this way, just some little micro habits in my diet, in my reading, in my exercise. Another thing that I'm going to start doing is to take action and to not overthink things. I tend to be guilty of overthinking and not getting started. So that has just kind of like held me back a little bit from just taking that first step and creating a momentum as I start taking action on whatever it is, either those little micro habits, my business, my YouTube channel, but just taking action and just doing the thing. The third question is, what are the things that I'm going to continue doing? Well, I started my channel this past year in 2023, so I will continue with that, of course, just like I just pointed out in question number 2 about what I'm going to start doing is uh, being intentional. So I started the channel, but I'm going to continue with the channel, but this time with a little more purpose and intention and just taking the action with that. I'm going to start with my healthy eating habits. I'm going to continue my exercise routine. Another thing that I'm going to continue doing that I have found success with is continue using my commute time to educate myself. So that would be with audiobooks, with my podcast, with YouTube channel, because I have found that not only does that make my drive feel a lot shorter, but I'm also educating myself as I am driving because I got to drive 1 hour to work anyways, so I might as well use that time intentionally and just educate myself and continue on my journey to just becoming better, more knowledgeable, and elevating myself in that area. Another thing that I'm going to continue doing is continuing to refine my goal setting. This past year, I read the 12-week year, and that book just provided a different technique that I had not tried before, which is instead of creating my goals for the whole year, dividing that into 12-week periods. And so far, I tried it, I started, but I'm going to continue refining that process. If you would like me to make a video about my 12-week goal setting technique and how I've adjusted it and tweaked it to fit my needs and what works for me, comment down below goal, and also subscribe to my channel. I want you to be part of my journey and part of what I'm creating here. So subscribe and click the like button and stay to the end. And after my reflection process and going over those 3 questions, what I'm going to stop, what I'm going to start, what I'm going to continue, I also focused on creating and coming up with my word of the year. And my word for this year is elevate. This year, I just want to elevate myself in the different areas when it comes to my belief system, my health, my professional, my family. So in different areas, I just want to elevate myself, and I just thought that word just um, kind of fit what my intention is for this year. When I looked at the definition of elevate, it means to raise to a higher standard, to raise to a more important, impressive level, to improve by adding or replacing components in your life. So just to go to the next level, because I feel that as a person, if I elevate myself, I'm able to elevate my family, my friends. So I decided that that word just kind of just fit with my theme of the year. I read that the word of the year defines how the year is going to be. It sets the tone for that year, and it actually helps you become more intentional to move in the direction of that theme. So I do encourage you to think of something, think of a word that resonates with you. Let me share my three purposeful intentions for this year that for me, I'm hoping they help me elevate my life to a better version of who I am. And I'm hoping that this inspires you in some way or another as you elevate and just move towards having a better year. My first intention, which I just covered in the three main questions that I asked myself, is taking action. Again, I tend to overthink things. I tend to question myself. I tend to um, think about a lot about what people might think, or am I doing this correctly? And then I have analysis paralysis, and then I make no move. I take no action. And I recently read that done is better than perfect. Part of the journey of taking action is creating a momentum and learning along the way, one step at a time. But action is the first thing that I got to do, that you got to do. So just taking action towards that goal that we have for ourselves and what we want to accomplish. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking action this year, no matter what. I tend to overthink and procrastinate. And I recently read a book where it was talking about that this is a fear archetype. It's the fear of commitment, the fear of judgment, the fear of what people might think. So procrastination is that. It's just the fear of something that just prevents you from taking those actions in the direction that you want to move forward. And also to create some hard deadlines for myself. And that goes with my 12-week planning year, which as I tried it last year, it kind of worked well. Of course, I need more work with that, but it kind of helped me stay focused instead of by December, I'm going to do this. It's kind of like I know I just have 12 weeks. So it kind of gets me going a little bit faster, even if it's one action, but it's making actions more often. So the 12-week year allows that for me. And with that, I read that quote that says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So just making a single step in the right direction. My second intention is to not wait to feel motivated to take some actions. A lot of the times we just are waiting to feel motivated, waiting till I feel motivated to exercise, waiting till I feel motivated to wake up earlier. But that just kind of never happens. So it's by taking those single steps that you get motivated. And motivation comes from taking the action, and that builds confidence because every time we take action to something, every time we get up early, that's a success for you, and that creates a momentum to keep trying that. Like, and you think to yourself, I can do this. You did it once, you can do it again. The same with exercise, the same with eating healthy, the same with public speaking, the same with creating YouTube videos. It's taking that first step, and slowly that confidence starts building, and you continue to create more and do more and taking more actions towards that. And my third intention is to gain clarity when I create my goals, and also to break those down into action steps. So it's really being intentional about my goal setting and refining my process. I feel that that's something that I need to work on, and being clear, and after each goal having some action steps instead of it being broad, refining that, because otherwise then I personally tend to get overwhelmed and I get discouraged because I feel like I don't know where to start. So just breaking down in actionable steps and steps that are doable. Research shows that people who write their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them, because then that gives us direction. Then we know what we're working towards. So that is something that I'm taking very serious this year. Writing my goals, breaking those down, and taking those steps to achieving them. Even if I just achieve one of the goals, it's better than none. We want to make sure that we have a direction. With that, um, scheduling time to review and adjust my goals. So sometimes we have our goals, and it's not until we start working towards them that we find that, you know what, this is a goal that I'm really not interested in. It's okay to adjust, to make time monthly and quarterly to make some changes and to reflect on how the goal is going and to adjust the action steps towards that goal. We don't want to wait until the end of the year and realize that that is not a goal that you intended to work towards, or that you ended up dropping halfway in or something like that. So just making that time for that. Friend, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to be intentional about this year, how you want this year to be, like thinking of a word that it's going to set the tone for your year, and thinking of those three questions. What are the things you're going to start and continue? And that can give you clarity to some of your goals, some of your intentions and action steps towards achieving some of that, so you can also elevate your year and upgrade your life to something better that you might want for yourself. I want to invite you to be part of my journey and to subscribe to my channel so you can be part of what I'm doing and my progress. I would love to hear from you. Also, click in the link below so you can download my top tips to your best second act. Bye.